Let's see. What's up, Gabe? I'm just chilling. Yeah, no. I went live earlier today, and I was on Facebook, so I had to go live from my YouTube because I haven't been giving y'all any love. I got my face burnt up. I set my face on fire, so if you see my face look a little different, that's what that is. But I want to talk about this CNN report and why would they release this right now, and what does it mean, and what are we supposed to do with this information? And my first question would be, did we not know this under Obama? Did we not know this stuff under Bush? Did we not know this stuff under all other presidents? It's almost like, what is the purpose of the media and CNN if all they're gonna do is be negative? So what would be the end result if we close down New York Life? Because they're attached to slaves or slavery, when we all know America was founded and built on slavery. So that means if you have a company like that or any big company like that, if you look back far enough, you're gonna find this tied to all of them. And how is that gonna help your life? How is that gonna affect your life? I just don't see how that's gonna help you. Virtue signaling and somebody knocking down statues, changing names and exposing businesses. If you get upset and shut down New York Life, this company is a big company. It's all over the world. So essentially what you're saying is it's not going to stop at New York Life. You're going to be closing down large companies all over the world, which in turn will put you out of work. Will put a lot of Americans out of work. So once they're out of work, then what? We haven't learned anything from Detroit and how Detroit was a booming, thriving city, and we burned it down. And Detroit was like Atlanta. Now look at Detroit, those businesses left, and people are feeling the effects of Detroit and what they did to this day. So why would we repeat the same cycle because some people are upset? Oh shit. Well, he in that bar, I don't want to say his name wrong because he might whip my ass too. But Cuomo a gangster, so I will leave Cuomo alone. But I just don't understand, why are they there just as a distraction? You're like the bearer of bad news. Every fucking day is something. Every day you showing Americans a video. We don't get the full story of the video. It's broken down, and you before you do any fact checking, before you do anything, you put it out. And now we're upset about something. And sometimes it turns out that what you're reporting is wrong. So how is shutting down New York Life going to help the Black community? How is closing companies going to help the Black community? How is burning up cities going to help the Black community? I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I was walking downtown. I bought a hat, I bought a shirt. I said, hey man, if you don't mind me asking, why is it so many, all the businesses, even the police station, with boards all over the doors? They said, oh, well, we had a protest and they broke all the windows out. So damn, I started to look. They didn't skip over the Black businesses. Their windows are bust out too. So what are we really trying to accomplish here? What is the end game? What is the goal? You know, I'm not trying to argue. I just don't understand why people don't see what the fuck is going on. Every 4 years, they hit you over the fucking head with racism. They divide us. They already got us going into different corners. If you're LGBT, you over here in this corner. If you're heterosexual, you better shut the fuck up. If you are a woman, you over here. And if you're this, you over here. And then everybody come out fighting. It's like, what the fuck? Is this America or not? You can have your opinion, and I don't have to like your opinion. I don't have to agree with it, but I can respect it. Now we're demonizing people based on our viewpoints, and I don't think that makes any sense. We're supposed to be an educated people. How come some of the most educated people now, to me, sound so uneducated? Now it's all about shaming people and making them look bad and saying all kind of dumb shit that don't make any sense. We'll make up a fucking word to try to box somebody into not being able to use their free speech. What's up, K-Mac? Just like 2016, their only policy is to get rich off Trump. Why? Oh, he is a racist, shaking my head. I'm tired of reading from the same old manuscript and the same old handbook that somebody is racist. Okay, what if I raise my hand and say I don't like white people? I don't give a fuck what policy you pass. I don't give a fuck what you tried to do. You can't convince me to like you. So why are we talking about that shit so much? Why are we not focusing on the three things that Larry Elder and all of these, Thomas Sowell and all of these wise men talk about? Why are we not focusing on not having children out of wedlock? Why are we not focusing on graduating high school? Why are we not focused on getting a job? Those are three things that'll keep you out of poverty. And people that are doing well and being successful, they ain't talking about race all fucking day. So no matter what we talk about with Trump, everybody go crazy. Somebody put a post up that said Trump was the worst president in history. And I said, damn, I'm kind of nervous because anytime you say something about Trump, any positive thing, you'll get ridiculed. You'll get, somehow you in trouble. But after the video I watched with the Breakfast Club with Angela Stanton, I'm like, damn, she said some pretty good stuff that I can look up. And some people that I already watched on YouTube said some good things that I already knew. So I go and look up all these things and it's like, boom, boom, boom. Everything this sister said checked out. So why was she met with so much hostility and Joe Biden got to have Charlemagne the God by himself and he didn't answer one fucking question? Hey, by the way, before you let your wife go cook, what you gonna do for the black community? Oh shit, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I'm out of this bitch. And he goes, it's like, what the fuck? That's what we gonna do? And we grill a black woman 3-on-1. 3-on-1, we on this woman's head. Like, that's crazy. Which one is it? It's the disrespect and the hypocrisy. Somebody has to call it out. First is respect all women, especially a black woman. This woman checked out all the check marks. She went to prison. She was on welfare. She's from the neighborhood. You said you want to police your own neighborhood, and we disrespect her the way that we did. We disrespect this woman the way that they did. We say something about school choice. Everybody say, oh, school choice, parents can't get their kids to school. What? Man, please. I know if school choice happened here, I damn sure can afford some gas to get my son to school. And I think we all can if we rearrange some priorities. If we not focus on things that we shouldn't be focused on and focus on the right thing. How come we don't sound like the men and women of back in the day that we can do? How come we sound like we can't do shit without somebody giving to us? Hold it down, agreed. We're voting for him again. I mean, shit, I just don't get it. It's so much research that show some of the positive things that Trump has done, despite the rhetoric. And I understand we all can harp on the negative rhetoric. We can talk about it. We can talk about it on both sides, Democrats and Republicans. Everybody got a history. Everybody got a past. So I think if you love somebody and you let it go, and we say we one nation under God, we together, you let that shit go. It's like, goddamn, Black Lives Matter. It started off to me as a good thing. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, because Black lives do matter. But at the end of the day, this organization doesn't seem like it's inclusive to all Black lives. An 8-year-old gets shot in Atlanta, kids get shot in Chicago, Black Lives Matter don't show up. It's like they only show up when the cops shoot somebody else. And I know the whole scenario is, oh, we trying to help. There's a lot of things that, policies and things that sound like we were trying to help, like Planned Parenthood. It sounds very good. 501 babies a month, that's not good. No Child Left Behind. That's $80 million spent to not leave a child behind. And to me, when I heard the platform, I'm like, so wait a minute. You're gonna let a kid go to 8.5. His peers are gonna see this. They're definitely gonna pick on this kid. And this is supposed to help him? Like, I never understood that. And so look at the results. It sounded good, but the results is it did not work. And so we always jump on the bandwagon of things that sound good and things that sound like they have good purpose. But we don't never do some digging and see what was the effects of what this thing said. What was the effects? 9 times out of 10, anything that sounded good for the black community, 94 crime bill sounded good. Some black people jumped in on it. What was the effects of that? It's time to not listen to things that sound good. We got tangible things right now. We got so many black people in position right now to help evoke change. Most of the police departments are ran by majority black, some of them, not all. So we have to do better as a people, in my opinion. Is there some shit going on? Yes. But I do like what Larry Elder said, and I watch him a lot. He said, he said his father told him, son, things are gonna happen in your life. And the way that you deal with those things, let me know if I raised a man or not. And I think that's what Jack Johnson, that's what Muhammad Ali, people who were really, really oppressed and really went through things, that's how I think they approach life. Jack Johnson wouldn't be denied the heavyweight championship. He followed everybody around, and when he got the opportunity, he did what he was supposed to do. We are a strong people. So why are we sounding so weak? And I don't get it.
There's a good reason why you don't get it. Because our network and our media spews propaganda over facts. And let's take a look at just a few personalities. All right, let's take a look. Nita, I want to say Yubi. She works NPR. She's a reporter. She's born in Jordan and known for her film reviews and interviews. Tyler Perry is one of her favorites. Ellen Page. Next, you got this person here, Kate Fegan. She's a writer for ESPN. You got Amy Walter. She works for the Cook Political Report. Then you got Mark Malkin. He works, he's the senior editor and the red carpet reporter for E Online. Then you got Michael, what's his name? Azulio. He works for TVLine.com. He's the editor-in-chief. Then you got Rose Arce. Rose Arce is a producer at CNN. Then at Politico, you got Richard Burke, who's the former executive editor. Then you have Ina Fried. She was the senior editor of Recode. Then you have Benoit Lewis, who's the writer of the New York Times Magazine. Jose Antonio Vargas, he's a freelance journalist who won a Pulitzer working for CNN Films. Chris Hughes, he's the owner of the New Republic, and he is the editor-in-chief. Alex Foxman for InStyle, he's the editor-in-chief. A lot of editors-in-chief. Jane Velez Mitchell, you know her from HLN. She hosts her own show and gives her own thoughts, right? Chris Blow, perfect name for him, a columnist at the New York Times. Stephanie Miller, she hosts a radio show called The Stephanie Miller Show. You know it. Sally Kahn, commentator, CNN. Chris Geidner from BuzzFeed. Jose Barrio from the New York Times. Brian Balzar, what's his name? Balzar Sorry about that. He's the co-executive producer of The View. That's on ABC. Tom McGurven. He's the co-founder and editor of Capital New York. Mara Rosen, founder and editor of Radar Online and The Fix. Jared Ing. He's the founder and EIC of Just Jared. Shor Sicha from The All, the co-founder at Shor. Steve Kornacki, you know him. He's the host of NSNBC's Up. Jan Werner, the co-founder of Rolling Stone. Pete Williams, NBC News. He's the justice correspondent. LZ Granderson, the columnist at ESPN. Sam Champion, he's the anchor and managing editor of the Weather Channel. Perez Hilton, y'all know who that is. He's the founder of his own show, right? Thomas Roberts, MSNBC's way too early. Then you got Jim Nelson, the editor-in-chief of GQ. Ari Shapiro, the reporter of the NPR. Adam Nagagori, the LA bureau chief of the New York Times. Janet Mock, the contributing editor of Marie Claire or whatever. Most women read that. Don Lemon, anchor, CNN News. Jess Cackle, People Entertainment Weekly. Adam Moss from New York Magazine, editor-in-chief. The Daily Dish founder, Andrew Sullivan. Columnist, Frank Bruni. The New York Times. The editor-director for The Stranger is Dan Savage. Then you got Kate Swisher, founder of Recode. Jonathan Capehart, the Washington Post contributor to the NSNBC. Nate Silver, statistician and editor-in-chief of ESPN's 538. Nick Denton, the founder of Gawker Media. You know him from the one with Hulk Hogan and all that. Susie Orman, the one with all the books. Susie. Glenn Greenwald, the editor of The Insert. Anderson Cooper from The Anderson Cooper Show, CNN. Robin Roberts, the anchor at ABC Good Morning America. Harvey Levin, TMZ. Rachel Maddow, NSNBC, The Rachel Maddow Show. Now, that's just a few, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a few. Let that sink in. Let you absorb that. Now, what do they have in common? That's what you're going to ask next. What do they have in common is that all of those people are gay. What a coincidence, right? What a coincidence. What a coinky-dink. They just all happen to be gay. Now, you might say, well, what does that have to do with what their job is? And for the record, I don't have a problem with them being gay. That's their life. I do not punish people for being gay. Nope, that's their business. That's between them and God. That's what they want to do in their sexual preference. Just don't include me in it. But my thing is, I don't have to celebrate you for your sexual orientation. I don't. I can care less. I don't ask you to celebrate mine. Be like, I'm heterosexual, dude. Come on, man. Where my support? Hey! Getting busy with strippers. Give me some love. Where's my parade? She got double D. Huh? See, we don't do that. I don't get I'm brave. You're so brave. Took down 2 strippers. Well, she wasn't a stripper. She worked there, but she wasn't a stripper. But I couldn't tell. But anyway, we don't do that. So why does this seem to be a coinkydink? All of these people seems to be the editor-in-chiefs are in high power in today's media. These are the top echelon and the gatekeepers on what's going on television. And as I was saying those names, how many times did you hear me say Fox? Not once. Not once. I'm just saying, there seems to be a certain agenda where you saw and heard of the New York Times, CNN, editor-in-chief. Heard those 3 words a lot in that whole message going down. So who's really making the message and making sure the agenda and the propaganda machine is flowing here? I'm just saying. And they're speaking for African Americans a lot. Now, starting to put this thing together now, right? Start getting your brain working. Get you thinking. What do they want? Why would they say such things? Because see what Kwame was speaking on, and don't forget to subscribe to @KwameBrownBustLife. If you're not getting your notifications, make sure. And don't forget to subscribe here too. And the same thing. If you're not getting your notifications, go hit your button, hit that notification bell, subscribe to all. Make sure you do that. Follow at Self-Talk. Oof, sorry about that, Self-Talk. I had to burp. But follow at Self-Talk. Well, it's a lot of different things going on at that time. But follow at HDTV. Not at HDTV. Welcome to HDTV with the 2 eyes. What's it? Seahawks, Jose Rodriguez. No dot. I remember this time. And follow Ticket TV, his crazy self. He going at it with Steph Curry and them now. He taking me cracking me up. So they got the podcast thing going on their Patreon. So yeah, they got something cracking over there tonight. So that's good. They got their thing going. My Patreon's doing all right. We hanging in there. Oh no, we got a lot to say. A lot to say. Why are all these people dictating to the media what it is that we should be doing? They're telling the media, which the editors in chief, which means that they're coming up with the storylines, and they're telling people what Black America should be doing. And I'm saying the word gay is not black. Okay? Gay is not the new black. So why are you pushing these agendas to our communities? That's all I'm saying. That word, gay, can mean Asian. It could mean anything in the world. Some even think it means pets. That word that you made up to describe what you're talking about knows no race. No particular race is it destined for or designated for, rather. So why is it being pushed and promoted more with us? Juneteenth, you're promoting that with the Gay Pride Month. Why? Why are you pushing it all together as one big envelope? When they say, well, you need some representation of people in color, why do you have to get somebody who's gay and black? When there's already very little representation of us in films, that we had to start this complaint that they would make an entire movie with an all-white cast, and that was considered normal. Nobody was batting an eye and saying, this looks strange. I think I watched the last movie that I could take, because they had done it like in 3 back-to-back movies. The only black character in the film that was black was also gay. Like, they're doing 2 birds with 1 stone. And it's like, okay, you got the one black cast member, you have 87% of the rest of the cast is Caucasian. Why wouldn't you make one of them the gay character? I have to be the minority and the minority again? We gotta cover all the burden for the film. Wouldn't it make sense to make one of them the gay character? Now, this isn't attacking anyone. We're just saying the agenda line is there. We're seeing it. We're pointing out things that actually happen. American Wedding from the American Pie series. That's when I walked out the movie theater. 21 Jump Street. It was a great movie. But it was like back to back. I saw them back to back in the same thing. The only black character in the movie, they made his character gay. And I'm like, here we go again. And it's just going back to the 1920s where we were just there for the entertainment and laughing purposes or comic relief of the films. That was our only purpose. If we were in the film, we couldn't be serious actors or anything else. We always had to be the butt of jokes. We were comic relief. You know, y'all don't realize that people praise Richard Pryor now, but the black community dumped on Richard Pryor. When he did the movie The Toy and all of those movies, oh, look at Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor had bills to pay. He had gave y'all the real, and y'all wasn't riding with Rich no more. Rich had to get his bills paid. So he was making the movies he could make. They was like, man, look at Richard Pryor playing a scared black man in every movie now. The movies weren't great, but they were checks coming in and he needed it. But understand, saying, man, we got to get a platform together. We got to do this. We got to do that. And the reason why you never did is because you never, ever, ever, they paid you money to not focus on what was actually going on. And you never got any news. You never had any black news. We never had anybody reporting on what's real in the neighborhood. You never had that. All you was fed was nonsense. The propaganda that's going on in today's media has been going on since the beginning of time. And now you have the right. You have the power now. Because now, instead of television pushing this narrative to all of us, the youth, they're not watching CNN. They're not watching Fox News. The youth are getting all their information off of the internet. So what they're doing is programming the rest of these minions, these little antenna drones that they created who actually watch their programs. They're targeting them and saying, go bring me more. Go bring me the children. Bring me there. Go ahead. Make your videos. Talk about me. Talk about what I just said. Start the movement. Start throwing a party. Let's get a parade going. We're going to have clowns, balloons. We're going to have amusement rides. We're going to make up t-shirts and floats. All of y'all was celebrating Juneteenth. Juneteenth is something to remember, but I don't know if that was anything to celebrate. If you think about what Juneteenth really was. It's to be remembered. But throwing a celebration for it is kind of the wrong response. Yeah, this the video. Telling you, man, I've been on their heads this week. Every day they getting mad at me. This the one that's gonna do it. Cause it must be said. It hurts to say, but it must be said. You all have the power. Like I said before, you possess the power. Yeah, it's been like 90 degrees every day, so I want to keep my grass nice and wet. So turning it on right now, but I want to keep my grass nice and wet. Cause it's gonna dry up real quick. Yeah, I took care of that squirrel. He ain't been back today. I was waiting on him. Look, he mad now over there. Don't come back over here. I'm gonna put the hose back on you. Stay over there. That's your spot. Do not come on my bench. Gotta let that squirrel know what time it is. Squirrels are crazy out here now. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, the media. Give you nothing but doom and sorrow. Every time it's African Americans, they all do it. And it ain't just CNN. It's MSNBC, like they just said, right? And why is all these people I just mentioned? I just went through about 50 names. Why are they in power? What would they do? What was their infliction? How did they get all the way up there to do all this stuff? And how are these guys the host of everything? How they take over the whole internet? What are they doing right? You know what they doing right?
What were you?
What they're doing right is that they hit the books, they saw the laws that was affecting them, and they said, I know how to fix this. That's what they did. So don't forget, man, definitely hit my Cash App up, which is Carcino. If you don't want to donate to the page and hit the super chat, God bless you to every last one of y'all who did hit up the super chat and the Cash App already, because you guys have done tremendous on the Cash App and the super chats. God bless all of you. Even the ones who didn't donate, bless you too for even coming over here to listen, because these are the type of things we need to be talking about. Now, all of these people who are out doing their thing right now in America, you know, we're walking around this globe, right? And we're looking at all what's happening. These people, meaning gays, they went out and hit the books. They got teased and they went through their thing, but they were able to get in these political offices and change laws. They had the numbers, they unified in secret and everything. See, they wasn't satisfied with just having a parade every year. Like, they're like, we're giving you a parade every year. They're like, parade is fun, mug, but we ain't just about marching in the streets for 3 hours with colorful rainbow flags. We want rights. And they got them. They got involved in entertainment in the news and saying, we need to control the media. We need to control how we're viewed. They got in the media. So whatever area that used to crucify them, they went and made the change. So us as a people should learn from what the gays have done to get in the position of power they're in now. So you can learn something from them because they are people. Do I treat gays differently? Nope, I don't. I'll have a conversation with them, but what they choose to do in their lifetime and their personal business is their business, and that's that. I don't judge people by their sexual orientations. That's them. Now, do I believe in it and promote go gay? No, I do not. I don't think it agrees with God. That's my personal opinion. I know you ain't allowed to have an opinion no more. They want everybody to be drones, but no. I don't agree that they're born that way. Nope. But I don't go with none of these things. There's no way scientifically proved that they could prove that. That's just their theory. And what is a theory? An unproven fact. Nope, it's an unproven thought or an opinion. It's not fact-based. If it was facts, then it wouldn't be a theory. You watch the Big Bang Theory, right? They don't say the Big Bang fact. There's a theory that there was a Big Bang, and then all creation was made. Right? Now that that's done, right? Let's go back to school, because we got a lot to talk about today.
As a joke, I mean, you got to show your face to be able to say something like that. Yeah, Tommy did do a great job with her though, but I understand why you ain't showing your face. There ain't really no judgment, not too much, because I do understand showing your face and saying some of the things that I'm saying will get you fucked up, will get you fired, will get the whole world talking about you. And I understand that, but at the end of the day, we got to have somebody. I seen that sister get on the Breakfast Club, and that was inspiring to me. She went in the belly of the beast. She was getting disrespectful treatment. She wasn't allowed to say one policy, and she came there to talk about what she could do for the Black community. And they made that second tier to trying to demonize her and make her seem like she don't like the LGBT community and all these things, but she hit every check mark. And that's one thing that they can't stand. The people at the powers that be that's moving this chessboard around, they can't stand a woman that hit every check mark, because you can't demonize her. You can't call her a name. You can't say things to her that you can say to me. And, you know, whatever come my way from this video, I don't give a shit. It'll just prove that Blacks are a monolithic thought. We have to all think the same. Anytime somebody can see, and I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, everybody says that because they're so afraid. I'm actually honest. I wasn't even into politics. I just don't like some bullshit. I don't like the lies. I can see one side gets a different treatment than the other side. And I think that everybody who's an honest person can actually see that. CT.
Here's just some of the things that we go through that they never talk about on the news. Let's talk about it. Okay? A white man named Michael Frederick Jr., right? He's from Warren, Michigan. He attacked and shot at the home of a Black family last year because they had Black Lives Matter sign in their window. He gets 4 to 10 years only for his sentence. Okay? 4 to 10 years. Now, why is that? Not only did he damage the home of Eddie and Candace Hall, where their children live, this 25-year-old man fired shots at their home in September of last year. He slashed the tires on their car. He called them giraffes and wrote it on the pickup truck in graffiti. He threw a rock through the front of their window. Then that wasn't enough. The next day, he came back and fired a bullet, a single bullet, in their home. So he was arrested finally and charged with ethnic intimidation, discharging of a firearm at a building, using a firearm during a felony, and malicious destruction of property. And he pled no contest. No contest is what he pled. Now, he was arrested prior to this. Okay? And prior to this, he said he wasn't targeting the families personally. He denied the attack about the race, but then he later admitted that Black Lives Matter sign in the window was the reason for it. He came out and said, I target these people because I didn't like their political sign that they had in the window. I think that you guys are some great people and didn't deserve this and all of this. I'm not an angry man. I'm forgiving all the people. This is what Candace Hall said. She was like, I'm not angry. I'm forgiving. You're a good kid and have a chance. You made a bad choice. We understand that. We have children ourselves. We're not hateful people. We're Christians. So they sat back as the judge gave him this lollipop sentence of 4 to 10 years for his actions that could have taken the life of their child, one of their children, or anything. But they're Christians, so they went on faith and said, let God take care of it. How many times did you hear that on CNN? How many times did you hear that on NBC? How many times did you hear about that, period? I bet you didn't. You have the power. All of you, because you guys have the internet. There's stuff that's going on in your community that you know that you could write articles on. Be your own journalist. Be the journalist for all these people in the world. Write about your people. Write about your community. Write about greatness that is happening in your community and report it. That's how you beat them. See, the wound is deep, but they're giving you a Band-Aid. Write about the greatness of your people and the things that has happened already. Now there's a new app that's trying to come out for a plan for a new Black Wall Street. Who is this hitting me up? Okay, Atichi Nabuzi from Atlanta, Georgia. He is a CEO of his company called Tribal. That's Tribl. And what he's doing is trying to help blacks, with a bolder vision to build themselves and create generational wealth, basically. And by doing that, like many other lessons that was learned about hundreds of years ago, and remember the famed Greenwood community in Tulsa that got destroyed. He's a Nigerian American, and he has a plan to try to help with the Pan-American commerce, while, it's a great time to celebrate Black Wall Street. This is the time where you could really make it happen for yourself digitally with digital wealth. And see, digital wealth is invisible. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fugazi. Doesn't exist. See, that's how money is being made and transferred. Wall Street made a bunch of money by raising up stock and lowering stocks and promoting it and pushing it. That was it. People were buying stock and numbers into something that probably didn't even really exist or wasn't doing anything. They were buying stock into applications that that were just prototypes. So, what are the key scenarios? Oh yeah, that's my other phone. It's fully charged. Cool. It's the white phone. I'm on the black phone now. It's the white phone. It's time to activate white phone. I think maybe 3 people have this phone, like the phone number. This is for like international calls. Most of my calls I got to do overseas for stock business or, investments. White phone. That way I'm not getting alerts beeping in. Beep, 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 beep. Me and grandma on the cover. Now, what you're looking at is mostly, let's say, what you're leveraging. Black consumers buying power, meaning that you're buying energy, right? Utilities. When you buy into energy and land, and these things are generational, they're going to go on forever. So, what is another thing? Currency, digital currency, digital money. It's invisible. It's just numbers. If you go to bankgreenwood.com, right? Go and research it for yourself and look at it. A dollar circulates 6 hours in the black community, 20 days in the Jewish community, and 30 days in the Asian community. Which means our money is being taken out of our communities. And these are merchant thieves. Meaning that how many Chinese restaurants have you seen, right, in your environment? How many businesses are owned by Arabians or Arabs, you might call them? They might own the corner store that you shop at all the time. But none of the people that own these businesses look like you. And none of the people that see the people that own businesses that look like you, they really don't want to support them. They look for a reason not to come to you. Oh, you trying to rip us off? Why are your prices so high? I did the same thing when they opened up, which they changed the law. There used to be a law that you could not have a Walmart or a Target in small areas of where the poverty line, because it would kill businesses. They removed those laws and put Walmarts and Targets in all of these small communities. And it absorbed up all the mom and pop shops. And I showed you guys what they did to Chicago. I showed you. So you saw it. Right there on 87th Street in Cottage Grove, there is a Target. Massive Target on 87th and Cottage Grove. You from the south side, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's a big old Target, dead smack there. And the black people stood up and fought for that Target. Like, no, we need that. And on 87th Street, there is about $4 to $5 to $6 to $7 to $8 million all up and down 87th Street. And y'all gave it away. That's what you did. You gave it all away. They used to have a beauty shop there. They used to have the record store, the hood record store. Do you know rappers, all the multi-million-dollar Wu-Tang, Foxy Brown, all of them came to that record store. And where you could meet your favorite rapper in that record store. Capadonna, Ghostface, Raekwon, all of them used to come there. on 87th Street. The owners used to let them come there, and that was a mom and pop spot. All these rappers came there. And they was treated like family. Nobody was trying to hurt them, nothing. It was love. Then, all of a sudden, you have Keisha Cole came there too. God, dog. Man, I missed that. Then, the Target gets put up. What they did is they couldn't sell the CDs at sale price. They had to sell it to you at the $14.99, $15.99 that it costs. Or they're not going to make their money back at the mom and pop joint. They couldn't give you that discount. So what they had to do in order for the moms and pops to get their money is they had to have it out before anybody else. So that you can go to the mom and pop spot and buy a copy. And have it on Friday before it come out on Tuesday. So you got to bump it on the weekend and be first with it. But then they got another box they got to put out on the date of release. But that's how mom and pop shops kept their money going. Because before it come out, nobody got it. You ain't going to care how much you going to have to pay to get it. So now Target comes out and they got $9.99 opening week. Get it for $9.99. They can't afford to do that. They can't. They can't make their dish that low. Target know that. That's why they put them at $9.99 or $11.99. Come get it at us. And I said no. And what they was doing to try to combat that, they got it. You buy 10 discs. They had the punch card. Like, we're going to punch it. And once you get 10, you come in here and you get a free CD if you buy 10. So I used to always buy from them regardless, man. He's like, man, I wish the rest of these people can get it. But he was like, we going to end up probably having a sale because they want to buy our land. And they wanted to buy it off them. They wanted to buy everybody. The one black man owned 2 pieces of property. He had the clothing store too. The hood clothing store was right there on the corner. He had that. He had the record store. So he had 2 pieces of property that's been there since the 1960s when he got there. 1960s and then the 70s he was able to buy. He did it the right way. But he ended up having to sell and relocate his business to a whole nother area. Then he eventually had to shut that down. So they shut down all these black-owned businesses. All the little clothing shops, the little jewelry stuff. So you can go get everything at a big conglomerate Target or Walmart. This happened all under your nose and you voted for it. Meaning your parents voted for it. They said, they lobbied them and controlled them and said, well, think about your kids. You know how many jobs are going to be offered for kids in the neighborhood? They get to work at Target. They got a place to come work. Yeah, they get jobs. That's going to be bringing money in the community. Right, that's money right in the community, right there. What have you just lost? That Target is still there. Your kid working for that measly amount of money, that ain't bringing nothing for the community. They're taking it out the community. Target is not supporting the softball team. Target ain't out there sponsoring the high school. They giving y'all pennies on the dollar to say they support the neighborhood. They haven't done a damn thing. Those black folks vested into those kids, educations, everything. They used to take money and put it up for all those things. The aldermen, the elections, the block parties, everything. They did it. And this isn't just Chicago. That's just an example. This happened all around the world. Well, around the United States. I want to show you something. Look at that. You know what that is? That's a 23-year-old pilot 23 years old, black man became a pilot at 23, making him the first to ever do it. They ain't gonna give you that. He's from Mississippi, and he's the youngest African American to be certified to fly a Boeing 777 in the world. And he himself didn't even realize how significant it was, because he thought someone had already done it before. The 777s is one of the airplanes that people don't usually touch until they're around their 40s or 50s. He had a scholarship to do it. It's the largest twin jets in the world. And that's why they want a mature person to handle that plane. But he was so good and so experienced. At 23, he's able to fly it. Shouts out to Malik. Malik Senegal, 23, from Mississippi. And that's what I'm doing on my Patreon. We putting together our news. Because these are the things that you're not hearing on these news channels. But why? Why? Yeah, it's an hour long. But this is a very powerful hour. This is an hour that people needed to hear. So, like I said, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this page, subscribe to Ed Kwame Brown Bust Life, hit all those buttons, and start asking these questions to people. Why are we watching these people who ain't doing anything for us? Why are we depending on these news channels? We got to hold their foot to the fire. We just like, hey, we got rights too. Why is it always doom and inevitability for us? Whenever they reporting on us, it's just doom and despair. But everybody else, they get all kind of inspirational things going on and light news. They'll show you stuff that ain't even news. It'd be a little girl with a flower, like, and look at little Sally. She's walking, she's holding a flower, she hands it to her grandma. Oh, that's so adorable. And in other news today, 5 shot in Chicago on the south side. So police doesn't have any suspects. They're still investigating. You know, we don't have any good news. No news involving us. No little Sally with a flower walking around. But we're just inevitable doom. Anyway, I'm out. Love, peace, and hair grease.